And on to a story about a violent drug ring with ties to NFL players. More than 20 people have been charged so far, including a former NFL running back.
And now one local football star has come under scrutiny by the feds due to his close friendship with the alleged ringleader of that gang.
Investigator Bob Norman has an exclusive interview with the man who helped take down the drug ring.
Hey, my name's Bob Norman. I'm with Channel 10.
Bob, what's up, man?
I caught up with Jeremy Shockey, the former UM and NFL football star.
The pass is caught by Shockey, the big tight end.
Outside his Miami Beach condo. I'm doing something on the FBI investigation involving Owen
I've
Hansen.
actually got to go do.
Can you tell me about the FBI investigation? It's not surprising he doesn't want to talk about Hansen, a former walk-on USC football player and close friend of Shockey's, who's been indicted as the alleged ringleader of an international drug and gambling ring with ties to NFL players, including Super Bowl winning running back Derek LaVille.
He and 22 others were part of an international drug and gambling ring,
Who was charged with dealing cocaine, meth, heroin, and ecstasy in the case. At about the time Hansen was indicted in January, FBI agents surprised Shockey at his condo, grilling him with questions about his extensive interactions with Hansen. I confirmed that Shockey got fed up with the agents' questions and kicked them out of the condo. About a week later, he received a subpoena to appear before the federal grand jury.
Important to a grand jury investigation.
Shockey hired this man, former U.S. Attorney Jeff Sloman, to represent him in the investigation. Sloman said the subpoena was withdrawn after he promised federal prosecutors that Shockey would freely answer their questions. To date, Shockey has not been called for questioning about Hansen, who stayed at Shockey's condo at times and with whom Shockey traveled to Los Angeles and visited in Costa Rica, where Hansen ran his gambling operation. He was friends with Owen. He wasn't in business with him, said Sloman. He didn't know anything about Owen's business, zero. He thought it was a legal offshore gambling business.
How do you travel the world with a guy and not know the guy's a drug dealer?
We went to Los Angeles to speak with this man, a witness in the case dubbed Individual A by the FBI. He doesn't buy Shockey's claim. He didn't know Hansen was allegedly involved in crimes.
He's got 4 or 5 drop phones. How do you not say, well, why do you have all those phones?
Individual A, a professional gambler who sat with us for his first ever TV interview on the case and asked that he not be named due to safety concerns,
He flashed a lot of money.
has a very personal involvement in the case. According to the indictment, Hansen terrorized him and his wife after Individual A says he was duped into taking millions in cash from Hansen to gamble that was laundered through casinos and lost $2.5 million of it at the tables. The indictment alleges Hansen sent him this gruesome video showing 2 men being decapitated, along with death threats.
Why did they do it?
Hansen also hired this private investigator, Daniel Portley Hanks, to desecrate Individual A's parents' gravesite. The PI, who now faces racketeering charges in the case, admitted during our interview to pouring red paint on the gravestone.
I felt terrible at the time I was doing it. But I was broke. I was on the balls of my feet, broke.
And photoshopping that together with this image of Hansen posing with a wrestling mask and shovel that was mailed to Individual A with another death threat.
When he desecrated my mother's grave, that was it.
During our interview, Portley Hanks, who was out of prison after posting a $50,000 bond, showed up to ask for forgiveness from the man he was paid to threaten and intimidate.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for everything that ever happened.
Then came the handshake and the tears.
I would never want anybody to do it to me. I just want to see that man locked up forever.
Individual A went to the FBI and helped crack the case.
I've actually got to go do.
Now he's pushing to make sure Shockey is fully investigated and began phoning and texting the football star. Shockey told him that he believes the case against Hansen is bogus and that the alleged threats against Individual A were, quote, minor.
He clearly wanted to get his friend out of jail. And I said, Jeremy, he ain't never getting out of jail, period.
In Los Angeles, Bob Norman, Local 10 News.
It's important to note that no evidence has surfaced suggesting Shockey broke the law. Attorneys for Hansen and LaVille didn't return Bob's calls for comment.